Have we ever heard the terms? Good. Have we ever heard the terms act like a lady or toughen up and be a man when we were younger? I know I have. Using phrases like this teaches boys and girls different forms of communication. By teaching our girls to act like a lady, we are already putting gender norms on our girls, and by teaching boys to toughen up and be a man, we are already putting norms on them. Gender is something that gender refers to the socially constructed characteristics of men and women. According to the World Health Organization, written in the National Geographic issue, Gender Revolution, A Journey by Katie Couric. Miscommunication between men and women is well known. Everyone has heard, he won't listen to what I have to say, or she won't get to the point. This miscommunication is not due to our physical biological differences, but rather the fault lies in our gender norms. These norms dictate how to continue conversations, how to phrase conversations, and even the goals of conversations, based on if you're male or if you are female. A communication study done by Adrignola and Spainton highlights how women tend to be the conversation motivators. Women tend to be the person who asks why, how come, how did that make you feel? And in doing this, they lengthen the conversation between two people. Men, in turn, tend to be conversation commanders. They dictate what topic is being discussed, when the topic is to be changed, and even when the conversation is to be finished. And they do this by not allowing the conversation motivator to continue their questions. If they answer with something that is called a muted phrase, like or okay, that makes the conversation motivator unable to continue the conversation as they have nothing else to go on. By doing this, men tend to end the conversation when they see fit. The goal of conversation for women tends to be to strengthen the bond between the two people. They have practiced with this when they play house as a child. They have a doll, and they communicate between the two dolls. They practice at strengthening the bond between the two dolls. Therefore, they have practiced as adults strengthening the bond between two people. Boys, on the other hand, are not allowed to play with dolls, and therefore do not practice communication between two people. For men, conversations tend to be a tool, something to be used to achieve a task. If there is no goal, then there is no point of the conversation. They see simply a question that needs to be answered, a problem that needs to be solved, and there's nothing more than that. Because of our society, we live in a very male-dominated culture, and it is shown in our communications. Men tend to be more assertive with their language. They tend to use directness as a means of intimidation, and they use authoritative language to show their knowledge in a conversation. Women, while powerless in our society, it is mirrored in their speech. They tend to talk tentatively, ask questions when instead of voicing their opinion, making sure that what they say is accepted before they say it. Because gender norms is what makes our communication difficult. It is not whether you are male or female that makes you unable to communicate. Everyone is able to communicate the same. It is what we're taught. because of our gender norms that makes it difficult. Our gender norms in our culture determine whether conversation is to be dictated or conversation is to be determined as a goal or a task, or how even we speak to each other, the tones in our voice. If we can be aware of these differences, we can teach our children to do better, and hopefully we can overcome these difficulties. That was better.
That was good.